Yo, we're ready to rock. Let's not waste any time. I need some slaying. I've got a fever. And the only antidote is more slaying. Welcome in, Scott, Big William. Yo, first two in with Scott. Slightly quicker on the trigger. Welcome in, everybody. This, that. Yeah, I'm just ready to rock. Yeah, I got nothing else to do. Nothing else to waste time. Let's go. Time's a waste and time we could be slaying. Wicked Ball, Mr. Lapsus, welcome in, welcome in. Todd, 2 liter Coke. Man, look like legend. Welcome in, everybody. As some more people filter in, more legends, legend after legend after legend, filtering into the chat. Love to see it, fellas. Thank you for joining me on this very, very great hump day. It's good old Wednesday. Wednesday's kind of a slow day. Obviously, it's great because I always stream on Wednesdays, so I'm playing D2. Can't complain about that. But there's no football on, you know. There's nothing really. It's not the weekend, so there's nothing exciting going on like that. At least, you know, you got Thursday night football the next day, but like, you know, Tuesday you got the waiver wire day for fantasy football anyways. I need to find like a Wednesday, a short Wednesday bowling league or something. I don't remember. Let's see this in the summer. Let's see. Summers there's no football though. I gotta figure this out. Maybe I need to start my own bowling league, huh? Ooh, a slaying league. Haha, there we go. There we go. Deadeye Kurt, welcome in. Welcome in. Big William said part of the Discord notification gang. There's a legend. If anyone ever wonders what sometimes YouTube doesn't notify you this or that, you get the Discord notifications on. Those things are snappy, usually. The other day, I guess they were like 8 minutes late, which is shocking. But I've heard stories of like, and even for me, I've had notifications on for people, and Discord or YouTube just literally doesn't notify you. They decide whether they think that you want to watch a stream or not. If you put on all notifications, subscribe, hit the like button all the time, and all this and that, they won't even necessarily for sure show it to you. They decide, you know what? He says he wants to watch this, but I don't really think he does. We'll rather shove him another Mr. Beast video or something.
Todd M donated $2 through Super Chat.
Todd M, you Slayer, $2 Super Chat. And I don't know if you guys can see it on your end. I don't really remember. First Super Chat from Todd. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Supporting the channel. Yes, Slayer. I might overuse the Slayer growl, but I love doing it, so I'm going to keep doing it. Like that's like the 1000th time I've done it, but it's so sick, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Uber's on single player. Kevin's got a question about: do the minions still spawn in single player? Yes. All the offline Uber farming is exact in D2R is exactly the same way as it is online. Just make sure you set it to players 1 difficulty if you do on a single player. I've fallen into that accident on more than one occasion. So the reason that someone probably said that is back in the day before D2R, if you had D2 LOD but you played offline single player with Pluggy, that would that's how you would be able to farm Ubers on single player. Because I think in LOD you couldn't even do Ubers without Pluggy, if I remember correctly. So back in the day, there were no minions that spawned up for Ubers. Back in the old LOD Pluggy days, but now they do. So someone probably just forgot or got confused or this or that or something, you know. Yeah, some of those boy, those minions can get annoying when you got like a budget build or something. Especially the add-on minions from Mephisto, because he's already zapping you so hard, and then you got all these elemental caster skeletons, like skeleton mages, that they actually, when you get like 30 of them hitting you at the same time as Mephisto blasts you with his lightning. Oof. Oof, am I right? Wicked Ball said he's got the YouTube notification already, but not the Twitch one. Man, Twitch letting me down now. Jeez. Can't trust these. Can't trust Amazon. Can't trust Alphabet, aka Google. Who would have thought, huh? Who would have thought? Bill 3 days in a row. I know what's going on, Sunil. I'm gonna be honest. For yesterday, I was just like, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoyed playing this. So, and I don't even know. It's not even that much different than other builds, this and that. Like it seems, it's not. It doesn't seem so like out of this world. But I don't know why. I'm just having fun doing this. Don't even know why it seems more fun to me at the moment. So. Deadeye said he accidentally did single player Ubers on P8. Oof. The thing is when I did it on accident, it was 7, not 8, but it was kind of a similar situation. But I was testing something on single player, and it wasn't like I wasn't legitimately farming keys. I was like testing something to like do an idea for a video or something. And I was like, what is going on? Like, what is, like, this should not be this hard. Like, why is the crushing blow not working? Why can't I take out, you know? And Mephisto was indeed, or Duriel, I mean, was indeed the hard one, like you said. I just could not quite get him down. It took me forever. I had to go back. He started replenishing life. Yeah, pretty much what, same thing you're saying. It took me like 10 minutes. And I did not ooh, hold up. Do it! Ah! So yeah. And I actually, I was testing out like how budget gear on a smiter you could do. And I'm like, I know this is budget gear, but geez, this is crazy. Why is this so hard? And I got all the way, I had 50 full rejuves, I think. And I took out all the mini Ubers. I got down, I took out Mephisto. I took out Uber Diablo, and I got to Uber Bale, and I ran out of full rejuves because he kept mana burning. And I was just chugging potions, chugging. And then finally after, I mean, this is so long went by. I think I had the wrong weapon out the whole time, but, and then I finally looked at the players count and I was like, oh boy, it's so dumb. Morpheus, welcome in. Finally farmed 3 key sets. Youngest Nate says, leveled a Paladin Smiter to 85 and completed Uber quest. What do you think of a 10-10 Druid? Still an upgrade. Oh boy. Sorry to hear that. That's almost pretty much the worst thing you could get, huh? But what you gonna do, huh? Still an upgrade. There you go. On the positive side. Thoughts on a whirlwind barb? Thoughts on it? Yeah, whirlwind can be good. Let's see. Trying to think here. I started a ladder with barb not long ago. Man, I got to transfer some of this stuff. Let me just take care of that super quick right now. It was tough starting out. I was whirlwinding at Trav. So you said some pits and Trav. So I don't really usually do the pits unless I have teleport on a barbarian, to be honest, but I don't really start with barbarian very often. So but it's good. What am I looking for here? Caster Ami 8? I feel like that one would be full. Why is it? So let's see. Why do I have so many of those? I'll sort through all this stuff later. Ain't nobody got time for this. I'm not sure what to say for my thoughts on it. It can be a good build or whatnot, but for me, Whirlwind can be kind of clunky, so. But that is what I used when I started off on ladder going out to Trav, so. It's reasonably good for sure. Into PoE at all? Never played Path of Exile. Nope. Nope. Definitely one I get asked about a lot because a lot of the people from D2 community and people that like Diablo 2, Diablo 2 Resurrected, do like Path of Exile as well. there's nothing, you know, I haven't played a large variety of games over the last few years. Like, since I have been doing YouTube, specifically Diablo 2 content full time, for like 3.5 years now, I haven't really played hardly any other games. It's I kind of want to start playing some stuff. I was talking about this the other day, that I want to start playing something off stream, but I don't know that I really want to play something that's going to take me, you know, hours and hours to like learn the mechanics and stuff and learn all the minutia of the game and how to be good at it and stuff. The older I get, man, I feel like such an old boomer here, but you know, that still listens to the same music for 50 years and they still do the same hobbies for 50 years and they never want to learn anything new. But I just really don't want to spend the time to have to learn how to do a bunch of new stuff. I'll be honest. Guess I'm turning into a lazy old bum. Old man Phil Marty says, no doubt. True story. A few people saying a big live stream tomorrow. For what, that PoE 2, I'm guessing? Yeah. Yeah, I did hear it was coming up in sometime in the nearish future, but not something I really look into. So you stack up all the perfect gems. So Aaron, on offline single player, I do not. I only keep Rals and perfect amethyst for crafting caster amulets. If I play online ladder, I don't stack the gems, but I cube them literally as I find them. So I'll keep, like, let's say hypothetically, this is like a Diablo Bale or Neolithak Brand Charm, or it's one from a high level Terror Zone. So one that's high enough level to be able to get 45 to life on it. I'll keep it right here, and I'll cube up all the flawless gems I get to get perfect gems. I'll keep them like right here, and flawless gems. When I cube them up and I get 3 perfect gems, I'll cube it one time. When I get 3 more gems, I cube it one time. So I don't stack perfect gems on a mule online ladder, but I do pick them all up and cube them up to do that. Or sometimes if I'm feeling frisky, a blue monarch.
I should aspire to higher feet.
Snow Pro, ooh, what a... Not a Slayer. Snow Pro is definitely not a Slayer, because Snow Pro is a legendary Slayer. Ooh. What's going on, big dog? And thank you for over 2 years of legendary Slayership. My God. Thank you so much, absolute beast. 98.6% Giga Chadness over here. That's a real measurement too. I didn't just make that up. True measurements right there. Phil, did you see the Halo 2 rework trailer? I did not see anything about that. So, like a remaster of Halo 2? War Staff. Almost didn't see that because it's a white. Yeah, Garbajo. Boy, Halo 2 is something else. The only thing I feel like if they redid Halo 2 or any of the old first-person shooters, they would make them too much like the modern first-person shooters, and they would add in a bunch of like dolphin diving and like sliding and stuff, how the new games are. So everyone's just spamming slide and stuff like that all the time, and spamming like corner leaping, how you can like leap around corners in the new Call of Duties and stuff. I feel like they would add that, and I'd just be like, ugh, they ruined the game. Thanks. But no, I did not see that. So Marty says I'm get off my lawn guy. No, I don't care too much about the lawn, but yeah, I get the analogy. Almost. Listen to these kids and their newfangled hippity hoppity music and stuff. Urgh. Let's see, on a smiter, Kev asks, after proccing Fade, what would you use on a budget smiter? Budget smiter. I think I usually end up just using treachery on a budget smiter, to be honest. I think I just stick with it. There's going to be other options you can use for sure. Let's see. What's the armor that has, it's like a kind of budget? Maybe it's like Nephilim and has like 50 all res or something. Is it smoke? Maybe you could use something like that. Duress, maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. Brain failing me. Don't forget, I'm old. I don't remember. Small Psio, welcome in. Just didn't re-up my Giga Chad yet, says Snow Pro. Oh yeah, you always you play the system, so you get all these different free super chats by slowly upgrading your membership. Getting your money's worth. Snow Pro said he'd be stoked for a Halo game that isn't bad. I paraphrased his comment, but yeah. Dual needlers. No, man. Was it plasma rifle with battle rifle on swap? That's where I was at. Hopefully they didn't take out super bouncing. Yeah. If super bouncing isn't in Halo 2, I don't want to play it. So, Mitt Rogue said found a Griffin's Griffin's Eye yesterday. Nice. Oh wait, no. Loaded up your game and it poofed. That's like unheard of things actually poofing like that. You must have like an inventory full of crafted caster amulets or something, like an entire shared stash full of caster amulets or something like that. That's the only time I ever hear things really poofing nowadays. But wow, sorry to hear that. That's rough. Aaron says black weapon. Yeah, black weapon is definitely budget smiter, like clutch right there, like budget smiter 101, right? That Thul IO Neff in a shopped 3-socketed flail, right? Just clutch. Build looks solid, minus cold res on your Doom. Yeah, I got a very poorly rolled Doom. I got a 4-faceted Monarch for more minus cold res. So yeah, it's not like the new Hammerden. It's not the new Mosaic, but like even right here, I'm not even throwing tornadoes right now for supplemental damage. It's strictly the Hurricane, just teleporting, tele-stomping, and standing still. Like, it's almost like slower to cast the tornadoes because it ends up distracting you from paying attention to moving on to the next pack faster. It's crazy. But yeah. Deadeye says, point into salvation. Get rid of the treachery. So you're gonna rock it without the fanaticism aura on this while smiting. I have heard of people saying to do that, but I don't know if I can get on board with that. Salvation is the all res aura, right? Guess I never really try it that way, so I'm not gonna say for sure not, but that's not usually what I do. Oh, plasma pistol, not plasma rifle, says Sunil, about the death combo, aka noob combo from Halo 2. Gotcha. Yeah, when I said it, I was like, is that right? I think so, but it was. Indeed, you are correct. Constantly swap them back and forth. Strange. One of those things I've heard people mention, but I've never watched anybody like streaming or in a video ever. I've never seen anyone do it before. So. Fanaticism for everybody but Mephisto. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that would make sense, I suppose. The thing is, Mephisto, you're probably, I could see that. Maybe I should dabble around with it. I never want to necessarily make a resounding statement on something I've never done myself before. But yeah, Mephisto does seem to have the lowest health pool. I don't know the actual factualness of that, but it does seem like Mephisto dies the fastest, but also die. He unalives you the fastest as well. So you gotta watch out for that. It's a tough battle. Fighting Mephisto with a Uber Smiter is like a bare knuckle fight of ultra heavyweights. It's a 30-second fight no matter what, and somebody's gonna win. Aaron said he tried dual Oridon against my torch farming. It was rough. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. I'm gonna be honest. Does not sound fun. Name says build looks enjoyable. Yeah, I'm enjoying this for sure. 612 new ladder. 612. Is that the date? Is that like month day? Let's see. Are you asking if it's December 6th? I think, Mara. It could be. I haven't heard anything official yet. If something was announced, I didn't see it yet. Yeah, Snowpro. I taught Snowpro what a noob combo was. Went to, was that at your, let's see. Was that at your house or was that at Chris's house? I forget where we were. The first time I came over to Halo Party and was just wrecking everybody. I was like super bouncy because I was the only one that had high-speed internet at the time because it was like the infancies of high-speed internet. Boy, that was so sick. Wicked Ball said he's seen December 6th as well. Okay, so there might have been some announcement. Let me look this up super quick, just to see, because if there was actually August 9th post. Let's see. It would probably be posted like on Twitter from Pez Radar or something, but I don't see anything, but I'm not an expert like looker-upper, official term, but it very well could have been posted like from Pez Radar on Twitch or something. Maybe it's possible, or that could be someone's best guess. I think it's at Curry's house. I feel like it was in somebody's house, like on their, and we were in like their second story. But then like some people were in the bedroom and we ran the landline under the door and there was people in the hallway. And then another landline went into another bedroom across the hall. I thought it, and maybe I'm remembering a different time. Because it was one time when I was, maybe it was at Master's house? Oh, yeah. I think it was at Master's house. Maybe. Could be wrong. Duck says, thanks for the help and fun over the years. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for the kind words, Duck. Absolute. Nice Ducky. Appreciate you. I came and just smoked everybody. Yeah, I did smoke everybody. This is true. This is true. Yeah, the difference between people who only played once in a while at LAN parties and people who had Xbox Live was like night and day, for sure. Because you just see people do things and you're like, oh, I'll do that. Oh, wait a second. He's over there and he's sitting here killing people and guarding this position. And then he jumps off the building, and while he's in the air, the rocket launcher spawns again because he knows the exact amount of time before the rocket launcher is going to spawn again. So, like, oh, geez, look at this stuff. I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. Boy, those were the days. Lawbringer sick for Uber weapon? Yeah, if you get Crushing Blow in a different way rather than the black. So the Lawbringer Sanctuary aura knocking everything back. For, I gotcha. Save you from those add-ons. I'm picking up what you're laying down. Wicked Ball said, yeah, he's seen it on X, the post. Okay, so Twitter. I feel like no one even calls it X. They changed the name to X and nobody calls it X. Because obviously that's like a really dumb name. Good old Twitter. Marty says X is a trusty platform. Well, regardless of that, naming a company X, just a singular letter, very dumb idea. Regardless of its trustworthiness of whatever. X, formerly known as Twitter, yeah. I mean, honestly, they should just say Twitter and stop saying X, formerly known as Twitter. Falcon mask. Oh, good. Nothing on there. Just call it X. No, it's a really stupid name. So you don't just name a company a letter. That's like really, really dumb. Work on Player 7. It does work, but it's not the greatest on Player 7. So no, almost every time I ever see anyone talk about it, they just say Twitter and they don't even bother even saying X anymore. Phil almost slipped up there. Yeah. Almost. You almost caught me. I forgot. See, I was thinking I was just talking like, you know, locker room talk. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to get in trouble. You don't get demonetized, but you can limit your monetization potential depending on what. So yeah, you just get less revenue per ad impression. You can anyways, depending on when you swear and how often you do. There's something weird about, I forget, it is hard to keep up with the way the algorithm changes, and I don't know how live streams work relative to videos. So supposedly before, if you swore within the first 30 seconds of a video, it would lump you into a different ad category for YouTube, and you might not get any ad revenue from the video. But if you swore after the first 30 seconds, it was fine. As long as it was less than like 5 times or something. I forget. It was some ridiculous thing. But they might have even changed that now. I'm not even sure. But yeah. And as for how live streams work, who the bleep knows? Who the bleep knows? Large charm, love it. I'm gonna ID this one just because. Rob says in government and court stuff, they refer to it as just a tweet. Yeah, I guess I don't even know what do they call them an X? Like when people tweet, do they call it an X now? Like they X'd on X? I'm not even sure. They just call it a post, I guess, would make sense, I guess. I don't know. An X post. Anthony, yo! Someone enlighten Boomer Phil on what they call a post on X now. Do they just call it a post? They don't call it a tweet anymore? I'm not an avid social media poster, so a post and a repost makes an excrement. I have heard that as a joke, but I assumed that was not literally what they called it. 2Live. Greetings from Germany. What's going on? Hyab Stone? Hyab, I think? Snowpro said, I enjoy your Friday night streams because you speak normally. Not always. So if I am sipping on some whiskey or something, I sometimes I'll let it fly a little more, but I kind of got, to be honest, I got in the habit right when I started out. I know I mentioned this, you probably heard this before, but of speaking, you know, appropriately for people of all ages, because I started streaming when my daughter was at home all the time, like during COVID and stuff. And then even like in the summer, she's here with me all the time almost. So I don't want to be sitting here 5 years old, like F this, them, effing bleepity bleep. And my daughter's like sitting 6 feet over here, you know? Like that's kind of how I got in the habit of that. She's at school now, but. And yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything against swearing, but I just don't want to swear all the time. Also, and I'm not 100% sure on the YouTube algorithm, but if there is a potential for like making half as much money, like let's say if you swore at work, you'd get paid half as much money. Would you swear at work? Or would you just say, instead of saying something's blank, you just say it's poopy instead of saying the S word, right? If you got paid half as much for going to work each day, every day you swore, like, you know, yeah. Mr. Salesman up here, give it the Prince treatment. Yeah, that was the first thing that popped in my head. Yeah, artist formerly known as Prince. That's pretty much what they do with Twitter. They just say X formerly known as Twitter. Or they just say X and then in parentheses they have Twitter. Because everybody knows it as Twitter and nobody wants to call it X. Regardless of what its real name is. But anyways. Yeah, I feel like that topic's run its course. Feel like that's run its course. Wicked Ball just now, 32 minutes. Ooh, boy. When I want to have my, whatchamacallit up, my shield here. 32 minutes in the stream, just got Twitch notification for going live. Boy, Twitch. I've been noticing that and I mean, all you legends are hopping in here right away. And even if you don't, you know, you get your notification, hop in. But I have noticed that that the viewers in the first like half hour, I don't get as many views, but then after like an hour and 20 minutes, it'll be up at the normal amount of view count, which like 2 weeks ago, everybody was hopping in here right away, getting the notifications and everything. So it's weird how like websites do that. They decide whether you want to see something or not. Very annoying, very annoying. Would I rather do any other job for the same pay? Same pay. Boy, it's impossible for me to say, like, if I had a different job, if I would like it more for the same pay, huh? I mean, I don't know for the same pay if I would really want to do something else. Not like permanently, no. I've done a few other things where I've like worked some like little side job for like a day or for a couple of days, which is kind of funny because when I go do other things now, it's almost like comical or like, I don't even know. Like I went and worked with my wife a few times where I literally just like worked like catering events, like just a time or two, but it's almost like if I did it any other time, if this was like back when I worked in factories and stuff and I had to go do that stuff, I'd be just like miserable. But now I'm almost walking around doing this super boring, miserable work and I'm just like laughing and like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. I don't know, it's hard to even explain, you know. Rob says, talking about earlier how I mentioned if you were at work and you got paid less, would you swear less? He says he tries not to swear at work, just keep it more professional. Yeah, depending on your workplace, yeah, for sure. For sure. I was always, you know, I was never like dress shirt and tie going to work type of jobs. I was always working in a factory. So, you know, I was literally the most proper person of the joint, you know. If you weren't going out to your car smoking weed on every break, then you know, and popping Vicodins and stuff, then you were very strange. So. Morpheus, yeah, that popped into my mind. That is that from Anchorman? He called the S poop. I forget what that's from. I forget what that's from. Oh no, I'm thinking of your poop, Ron Burgundy, your poop. Oh, Billy Madison. Okay, yeah, okay. I knew it was from some classic movie. How much minus res is Uber Mephisto's conviction? Oh, I don't remember the exact number. I think let's see. I forget the way you're supposed to word this too, so it makes perfect sense. So 75 will cap out your res. How do you word this? I think you need. So I think over 0% res, I think you need 220 res to fully negate Mephisto's conviction aura. I can't remember. I'd have to Google what level his conviction aura is and look up the numbers. Somebody in here probably knows it. He said he thinks it's minus 125. So maybe it was 185 or something like that. Yeah, it's I just can't remember offhand those numbers. Definitely something I look up all the time. So anytime I need to reference it, I should say. I don't like farming Ubers, so I don't memorize all the stuff for it. So Mama Phil, yo! Welcome in. Welcome in. Snowpro says, I have a job that a lot of people wish they'd have. For sure. Yeah, for sure. The one thing about doing something like this, the amount that I appreciate people like who like working from home, the amount of benefit you get from that is just astronomical. Just astronomical. Like the number of people, like if you include all the amount of time that you have to like preparing to go to work and driving to work and like just every little thing like that, having your separate work clothes from your at-home clothes, and then so that means you do more laundry, just all the extra time it takes to do everything like that, cleaning the extra dishes and Tupperware and stuff you got to take to work and this and that, the amount of time that saves, like if you equate that out to like time equals money, it's just crazy working from home how much beneficial it is, regardless of like what I literally do, you know what I mean? That's what when I hear and see people who like really want to work from home, and there's people I've heard like after COVID, they're like, if any job wasn't work from home, I'm literally not going to take it. And I'm like, I completely can understand why somebody would think that and say that, because working from home it's crazy. If you just factor in the amount of gas money from driving, like I used to drive like 45 minutes to work in a factory for like no money, just factoring in just the gas money, it's like getting a 20% raise. Maybe not that much, but like it's like literally just instantly a 10% raise like that, just not the gas money. So it's like crazy. So Tonester, welcome in. Welcome in. Just unemployed, works on vehicles at home. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, you do like side mechanic work, I think is essentially what you're saying. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice knowing a guy that's like that. If you know somebody that can fix stuff for you, you save so much, like you said, in labor. Then the company doesn't need like the upcharge. You can still charge them like $100 an hour, but then a shop charges you like $300 an hour because they need to. The owner has to make $100 an hour, and then the mechanic has to make the money an hour. Then they got to pay all this and that, and then there's so much overhead. So yeah, if you can find somebody who's like that guy that does mechanic stuff on the side and stuff like that, it's a great person to know for sure. Snowpro is back in college, streaming to 200 people, and it was requiring for monetization to stream to 450 back then on Twitch. What? Dang, dude. That's crazy. You used to stream to like 200 people back in the day, huh? You could be a full-time streamer nowadays on that. What kind of factory? Depended on the year. So I originally worked in like... I worked in a bus factory for a while. Then I worked the plastics. Kind of worked my way up slightly in plastic stuff to be a plastic extrusion tech. Then I got a job in metal fab. Then I was running some CNC laser type stuff, along with some other press brakes. I was doing a bazillion, like 30 different things. Kind of a long story. They hired me to actually be like a manager there, and then they lost like a year later, after I got hired, they lost all these jobs. And yeah. Yeah, pretty much all the people that I was supervising all got laid off except for like one or two, and then they quit. And I was doing like 5 people's jobs all at once because, you know, we only had a few jobs anyway. So I was like going back and forth from machine to machine, like doing the press brake, going over here and cutting stuff on this laser, going over and, you know, drilling and tapping these parts and stuff. And then, yeah, that's the owner was just like, so with everything that's happened, do you want to just like run these lasers and stuff? Because you run them. You do all the work that the other guy was doing, and you do all of this other guy's job at the same time. And I was like, yeah, I just couldn't get all these people you hire. I just can't get them to work or do anything. And he's like, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a little bit of a raise and you just don't be manager anymore. So you make more money and just do both these jobs. And I was like, I don't know, I guess, sure. Because I was getting sick of like trying to like get these drug addicts to work too. It was super annoying. So but anyways, where was I here? I got a little tangent there, so. Tensy plastic. I don't know what Tensy. It was extrusion molding is the type of stuff I did. So, do you find it easy to be motivated to do household chores, being home all day? Well, I'm not really home all day, but I'm like home now. The thing is, I try to take time to go to the gym because you know, I'm obviously sitting here all day now, so I need to take time to not get fat as bleep, which is, so I come home, I take my daughter to school, I go to the gym, I get home at like, because my daughter doesn't start school till like 9, but, go to the gym for a while, get home at like 10, take a shower, eat lunch, get some stuff ready. Here I am streaming at noon, you know, like I did a few things, like I swept real quick, but like I don't really have, and then I stream until 3:30 when I go pick my daughter up from school, you know, so but yeah, I'm perfectly fine doing work at home and stuff like that. I mean, I guess I'm not like the person that keeps my entire house spotless by any means, but I would say I'm average. Whoopsie. Got my little wrist guard. Morpheus says time, talking about working from home or driving into work isn't the issue. Traffic, mental health takes its toll. Oh yeah, I'm picking up Chilean down. Especially if you got to drive. If you're not in like... The thing working at factories too, you go to work so early, you miss a lot of the rush hour. Like I used to start work at 6:30. So like starting at 6:30 means you're leaving at, depending on how far you drive, and where I live, it can be pretty far. You're leaving at 5:30 in the morning and stuff like that. It's kind of before a lot of the busier traffic. So factories always start super early. If it's more of an office job, usually they start at like 8, so you leave your house like 7:30. Then it's a disaster. But yeah. Let me just take a second, catch up on some comments here. Maybe I can do it super quick here. Just Unemployed said he got hired at a shop the same way as mine, that he got hired kind of as a manager, and then everyone got laid off, and he ended up just like doing the work. Yeah. That's kind of funny. Yeah, part of mine too is like there was it was a steel place, and there was a kind of a bunch of steel tariffs, and that kind of took a toll on the company too. So, and then because of that, some of the places went out of business that we did work for, or they just like had to cut back because they couldn't do a lot of the jobs they did before because they would have been unprofitable to do now. So Yeah, I guess it depends on if you're in plastics and stuff like that, or if you're in metal stuff or whatever, but corporate executive position. Bel Air says from home. It's nice to work from home. Still so exhausting, huh? So exhausting. Yeah, the biggest issue. Ooh, okay, not perfect, but maybe we'll note that. Okay, so a 41 res superior royal shield. Yeah, I mean it's not a bad choice for a spirit base for a paladin at all. Not bad at all. It's a little cute. Not 45, but not bad. I have no idea what I was just saying too. I was saying something super cool and important. I know that though. Oh yeah, the biggest issue for me is deciding like what time I'm gonna sacrifice, quote unquote sacrifice, to do what, you know, like, because working from home and doing YouTube like this, like technically I could make a video and work on videos anytime and all the time, but you don't want to anytime and all the time. But also sometimes during the day when I'm supposed to be quote unquote my working hours, sometimes you want to do other things, so then you have to shift around your time for the different times. So then you got to decide like, okay, after dinner, am I gonna like make up the hours that I didn't work this day? I don't, you know, who wants to really quote unquote work at 8:30 at night, you know what I mean? But like, but I didn't work the 2 days ago because of this or that, you know what I mean? So having to shift things around like that is what I find the most difficult, because like I don't want to work Sunday afternoons when football's on. I don't want to work Sundays at all, really. You know, it's just hard to adjust things like that. So yeah, how many more Ohm runes have you found, says Bib? Ooh, none yet, but yeah, none yet. Race, yo, welcome in. Tonester said he's been factory working 15 years upstate New York. Yeah, nothing wrong with factory work, and it's not like exclusively like a lot of factory work can just get, you know, people can get kind of people I don't really particularly like work with. It's crazy when you work in a factory and you actually like have a few other hardworking like people who are on time and show up every day. You're like, okay, there's one of us, you know. But yeah, there's a lot of riffraff, we'll call it, for the whole factory work type of stuff. Trash, welcome in, yo. Sorry, I'm getting a little behind here. Jeez, I'm doing so much rambling. Let me drink some water. Snow Pro start leaves at 7:30. Drop my 2-year-old off at daycare. Back to start at 8. Oh, you work from home? Gotcha. Yeah. You work from home and you take your kid to daycare, bro? You gotta be like Phil. I had my kid right here with me. Maybe not 2 years old though. 2 years old would be a bit much. I think she was probably like 4. And back then too, I'd be like, all the time in the middle of the stream, I'd be like, "Oh, sorry, fellas, sorry, gotta go get some Cheez-Its. Sorry, gotta go get my kid some nuggies." You know, kid. They totally weren't for me. They were for the kid. Wink, wink. Let's just go with Ish. Said, not much competition. Locksmith business doing fairly well. Locksmith business, huh? Nice. Yeah, that's one of those things. Yeah, I guess that's one of those things no one ever thinks about doing, kind of. So yeah, I could see not a lot of competition. Interesting. Trash is up at 4:45. Ooh, that's too early. I've never had a job where I regularly had to get up quite that early. I think the earliest I had to get up was like 5. But I started pushing it for a while, where I started getting up at like 5:15, even like 5:20. Yeah. Because I was like, I literally just get up, get dressed, and just like, get to work as fast as I could back in the day. Best rune so far. I found 2 ohms on back-to-back runs the other day. Yesterday, actually, I think so. Get up at 2 a.m., Justin says. Come on. That's way too early. That's way too early. I don't think I would ever get a job where I had to get up at 2 a.m. every day. I quite literally just could not do that. Quite literally. What? Snowpro says my primary job's $76 an hour. You need an assistant? Boy, and that's the craziest thing too, because we all know you just sit at home and play WoW all day. So for $76 an hour, you sit at home and play WoW all day. Jeez. Who's got the dream job now, Snowpro, huh? Congrats on that, though. I'm about to call your boss. Or if you said you used to work in a flour mill. Okay, that's an interesting one. Flour mill. Snowpro says, daycare $1,000 a month. That's like half of my monthly pay right there. That's crazy. $1,000. That's half of what I make in a month. Would I ever taste test nuggies? I mean, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, I guess. But how do you? I mean, like quality control or something, or like different futuristic like nuggy flavors. Like I don't know what that means for sure. Stoned Diablo 2 guy says, grateful to have a job where I make my own hours and do my own thing. Yeah, there is something to be said about that. You kind of gotta, for me, it's tough to like balance and like keep my head straight doing it, but it also has like such great advantages, right? So Snowpro said, right out of college is working 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't miss that. Ooh, yeah, sounds rough. Sounds rough for sure. Wagner, I am from Michigan. I live in Michigan. Snowpro, yeah, says don't tell the wife about. Well, hopefully your wife's not watching the stream. I just outed you as sitting at home playing WoW all day. I totally need the kid at daycare. How am I supposed to pay attention to the rate, or I mean the meeting? I'm half joking. I'm just joking, Snowpro. Oops, why do I need to drop that off? Actually, you know what? Even though it is a reasonable base, I honestly don't need it. I have a few different 45 res ones after, you know, the years of playing this offline single player at this point, but. Marty, no, that the second one there never crossed my mind, but I get the joke now. That took me a minute. Wiggy, welcome in, yo. Ray City's works from home 3 days a week, driving an hour each way. Yeah, I think that's kind of a good middle ground, because I know companies that want all their employees to like work from the place nowadays. They're not all, but some are. I shouldn't say all. It's a little bit drastic, but a lot of places are trying to get their people to come back in, and nobody wants to. I feel like it's kind of settled out now. You don't really hear people talk about that as much anymore. But I have heard, you know, it's becoming more common to where people work from home like 3 days and they come in on 2 or something. I do feel like there's something to be said about like going to work and seeing people and talking to them. If not for the company's sake or for the employees working better, this or that, but almost like a psychological sake that's actually like better for the people too. Because that is one thing that I don't even want to say I miss, because really a lot of the people in the factories I worked with, I really did not like them. But just seeing people and talking to them, like seeing their faces, you know, like obviously we're talking right now, but it's not the same as like looking somebody in the face and talking to them, you know? So yeah. Mantis said 2K a month wouldn't cut it. Well, I'm gonna be honest, I was slightly joking there. Slightly. Also, I'm incredibly cheap though, so. Oh no! I keep dropping I got this little wrist guard thing I use on my mouse hand called the Carpio. And yeah, keeps dropping off the desk on accident. Oopsie. 3K apartment. Oh yeah, someone said it costs 3K for a 1-bedroom apartment. Yeah, I mean, I bet you around here nowadays, I haven't looked at it in a long time. So, I bet you it's over over 1,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment around where I live. But I don't know for sure. When I was looking, 10 years ago probably at least, I was looking at like the cheapest like apartments that you could find anywhere, and a 1-bedroom apartment was like, I found one that was like, get this, so sketchy. It was $650 a month, right? And I was like, what? Like, this is a great deal. It looks all right. Like, a lot of places are $750, $800. And I called them, talked to them. Hey, I will honestly giving you my credit card number right now. Put down like the deposit and stuff. Like, I won't even look at it. I'll take it, and I'll come in tomorrow and sign the papers. And they're like, oh no, you don't need to do that. Just come in tomorrow and we'll get it all figured out and blah 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 blah. And then I get up the next day to go in to do everything. They're like, no, you got the apartment, come in. Yeah, we'll figure it all out tomorrow. I wake up in the morning, and just before I leave, I get a voicemail. And it's like, oh, sorry, the apartment's not available anymore. Real sorry about that. Take care. And then a week later, the exact same apartment was listed for $100 more a month. It might have even been $200 more a month. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a 1-bedroom apartment is like $1,200 or $1,400 around where I live nowadays. Wouldn't even be surprised with everything I've been hearing about housing inflation and whatnot. You know, not going into all the different politics of that, but there's no doubt that housing and living prices have gone up over the last decade. Morpheus says, not cheap, thrifty. I refer to it as cheap, for sure. Cheap, cheap, cheap. It's kind of just the mindset of way you think about things, like, especially if it comes to like food or like all different things, like, especially like food. If food tastes like 50% as good as something else, but it costs a 10% of the price, I'll eat something that's half as good because it's 10%, you know. That's pretty much, that's the way I balance things, so. Stefan says, yeah, working from home definitely has pros and cons. Not seeing people, I have to go out, also not ideal if you want to climb the ladder. Yeah, personal relationships are probably like the biggest way to get like advanced through companies, and like making those personal relationships are, you know, networking through that. Like, it's hard to network through never meeting somebody, you know what I mean? And networking, like pretty much who you know and who you're friends with, who becomes your buddy, is like the best way to get better job prospects in the future. From what I've seen in my experience. Like, I honestly think it's more important, from what I've seen, is about who you know, more so than your education or your whatever, you know what I mean? Good old Gurk's Sanctuary. So if you need that damage reduced, magic damage reduced, the res, you're throwing this on that massively survivability immortal sorceress. There you go, Gurk's Sanctuary. I like it, I like it. G-Stacks, welcome in, my man. Welcome in. Snow Pro said he's got a 4-bedroom, 2.5 baths, 3K a month. Right. I mean, I haven't looked up apartments in my area recently, so I should probably look it up. Actually, it's not that I should, but I'm kind of interested now, is what I meant to say. Not that I should look it up. Let me look it up real quick. I'm not going to show you this because it'll kind of dox where I live, but ooh, whoa. No way. Yeah, 1 to 2 bedroom apartments, and this, I'm literally looking at apartments right now, are at buildings that I looked at back in the day. 1 bedroom apartments, the cheapest you can find in the area where I live, is like $1,200 for a 1 bedroom apartment. Here's one for $1,100, but it's like an apartment with a bunch of riffraff. Yeah, okay, maybe you can find a 1 bedroom for like $1,000. Wowsy. Yeah, those same apartments were like $600 or $700. Like, I mean, that was 10 years ago, I guess, but they went up 30% in 10 years. I don't know. Still sounds like a lot relative to I bought my house and how much I pay for it. Grindy says, full-time work from home. Been really successful. Congrats on that, I suppose. Yeah. Get after it, Phil. Slayer, says G6. Trying to catch a rocket to the moon before heading home. Rocket to the moon. I don't understand the reference, but congrats on that, though. Bitcoin making some nice gains. Yeah. Really wish I would have hung on to all that Bitcoin I had in like 2012. That's real disappointing. But what you gonna do, huh? See, Justin, architecture degree, but I'm a mechanic. Don't need to know a guy. I am the guy. Oh, I got you. Kind of referencing back to what we were talking about earlier. I got you. Wiggy says, when they ask him where he sees himself in 10 years, he says, climbing the ladder at work, huh? But no, not at work. He's talking about the D2R hardcore ladder. They just don't know it. Of course. G-Sex at Disneyland. I know he's at Disneyland, but I don't know what he means by the rocket. Like shooting. I don't know what he means by that. Like the Buzz Lightyear ride where you fly around in the rocket and you're like shooting at the aliens or whatever. $1,000 apartments come with 4-legged roommates. I'm assuming you're not talking about like you get a free dog as a pet. Snowpro said he sold half a Bitcoin when it was at 65K. Yeah. Yeah, I was way too terrified to like long hold Bitcoin when I had it. It was, I don't remember the exact year, but it was when it shot up to like 20K and then it crashed back down. And I was like completely did not believe much of it at all. I was just like, well, it's going up, so I'll buy some. Pretty much. God, I remember watching a documentary on Bitcoin. It was like, Bitcoin's exploded to $500 each. And it's really bringing into people's, brought up to people's attention now that it's exploded up. Because I remember watching that documentary and then I looked and I was like, wait a second. It said it exploded up to, oh no. I think it said it exploded up to $50 each. And I looked and I was like, wait a second, is that like 1,000 now? This is crazy. Helps to hold when you don't need the cash. Yeah, I didn't like quote unquote need the cash, but I was not rich at the time. And I'm not rich now either, but I mean, when I was looking at like, you know, like 25 or $30,000 at the time, was a bleep ton of money for me back then. It's still a lot of money. But it was like, I mean, back then that would have been like at least half of my net worth at the time, if not more. So, you know, I couldn't afford to, you know, let 25K to drip down to like 4K. Like, I would have like lost my mind. I would have literally been institutionalized if that happened to me. But yeah, I chickened out. Could have been 100,000 air if I would have kept it. Several 100,000 air. Is that a saying? Do people say that? 100,000 air? I feel like everybody says that. Ray says, with the shape he's in, if he has 25K, the FBI would be after him. Where did you get this? This makes no sense of how you got this much money. Yeah, boy. Can you get +3 to Sork skills on a crafted amulet? No. Nope. The most you can get on crafted is 2 to sorceress skills. And actually 2 to a skill tree as well. You can get 3 to like fire skills, 3 to lightning skills on blue amulets that you identify. But if you craft it, you can only get 2 to like lightning skills or fire skills or cold. So yeah. First philism of the day. 100,000 air. 100K air. None of those really roll off the tongue all that well. Yeah, Snow Pro. Yeah, congrats to you guys. Congrats to you guys. I didn't believe in it at the time. Like, I was like, what is this scam? But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not really much of a risk taker personally, so the fact that I did that at the time anyways is shocking to even me nowadays, so. Grindy says, wouldn't be tuning into my stream if I had held. You never know. Butterfly effect, right? Never know. A butterfly flaps its wings on the other side of the world over in the Philippines or China or something, and all of a sudden Phil's not working, Phil's not streaming. I go get a cushy desk job and I fill out TPS reports all day, and never know. Waiting to... Patrick Star, welcome. The risk is still there. Yeah, you never know, Snow Pro, right? Never know. Luckily, I made some other... Maybe I should brag a little bit. I did buy NVIDIA at a great time, so that worked out for me. Bought NVIDIA almost at like the bottom of kind of a few years back. But yeah, in general, I'm not much of a gambler. I'm not much of a risk taker, really. So I don't really do those super speculative things. And if I do, I don't like invest a ton, you know. NVIDIA's about the most. I had like the most conviction in that particular one. And I mean, back in the day, I only bought like, you know, a few $1,000s worth of NVIDIA, and like nothing crazy. But yeah. Blue chip, strictly 401k. Yeah, I definitely, my IRA I keep with just, definitely just, some ETFs and stuff, yeah. Like VU and stuff like that, you know. The boring stuff, but the classics. NVIDIA, Tesla's awesome if you hit it right. Yeah, I had Tesla for a while too, but I sold at what... I don't even know what Tesla's doing nowadays. I haven't followed it much. Let's see. I don't know if it's what I sold it at. Let's go back here. Oh yeah. So I sold Tesla at about exactly what Tesla's at now. like 3 or 4 years ago. Which is, it just shot back up since, you know, the election and stuff. But yeah, who knows? Yeah, maybe Tesla keep going in the future and see what's up. But yeah, I had gotten out of Tesla for reasons. So stock split. Which one are you talking about? Nvidia? Or are you talking about which one? Oh, the split. 6x in 2020. Yeah, I don't remember relative. I think it was a little bit after that. It was just slightly after like the peak back in what was 2020. When was that? 2021. It peaked and it came down a little bit and it went up a little bit, and then I sold it right around there. And then I do remember I was thinking about buying it back after it went down, but then I think I bought it back and then I sold it again after, like, I bought it back, it went up like 20%, and then I sold it again, something like that. But yeah, what wasn't, see what, and the thing is Nvidia split too, so it changed my cost basis to what it, let me see what it says on that now. Maybe I can brag about how smart I am and a genius. Yeah, my average cost on Nvidia, I got 16 bucks a share. How nasty. Even just having that is, it just looks cool. It just looks cool. And I'll tell you, this is the funniest, the story of why I, when I bought Nvidia. So everybody knows how, and I'm not going to get all super political about this, but it was a political like thing that I looked at that made me decide to get it. So has anybody heard how genius Nancy Pelosi's husband is at stock trading? I don't know if anyone's heard of this, but I heard a thing that Nvidia was down for a little bit. And it was like Nancy Pelosi's husband sold all of every one of their shares, like $250,000, or maybe it was like $3 million. I don't remember the number. They sold all of their shares of Nvidia. And I was like, what? Nvidia's like going parabolic here soon, like with everything going on and this and that. I'm like, this makes no sense. Why would they sell all their shares? I'm like, I don't care that they do great and that I don't care. I'm putting this money into Nvidia because like, this doesn't make any sense. So there's something fishy going on here. Because they report their share things, like, is it a month after they do their moves they have to report it, or is it 3 months? I don't remember for sure, but it's always delayed. So you hear what they did like last month. What they did is they sold all their Nvidia shares and they bought Nvidia calls because they knew that there was this stuff happening. So I think people might have like people who would follow the Pelosi's or whatever to get their stock trading news, they got the wrong idea from that. And luckily I didn't listen to this stuff and I bought it, and yeah, so that kind of worked out. So Lubis saying 3 days in a row stream. I know, right? Crazy. Politicians, insider trading. No. I was just talking about because Nancy Pelosi's husband is just really good at it. Is really good at stock trading. She doesn't give him information about it. That would be illegal, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? But yeah, that's just, and not that I'm like, I think one side is way better or worse than the other. I'm not going political on that, but I'm not going to go some political maneuver that way. But that's how I decided to buy Nvidia back in the day. I just thought it was kind of an interesting story. That I was trying to weave it out of not trying to sound too political or anything. All around Amelia says can't find a Griffins anywhere. Unfortunately, yeah, it's a hard one to find. So all I can wish you is best of luck. Just hit terror zones or terrorize Andy anytime Andy's terrorized for sure. and just slam 85 areas, you know, like one like this, or the pits, or the Chaos Sanctuary, wherever you like to farm. Cross some fingers. So yeah. Hard not to sound political. Yeah, I mean, somewhat. Usually I try to steer clear, but that one story, it was just I just thought it was kind of interesting how I came up with the idea to invest in Nvidia, sort of part of it, anyways. Pretty much, I just wanted to brag because I feel so smart about that one particular decision. Just want to brag, make myself feel a little bit better. All the dumb decisions I've made in the days, but I did make one good one. Patrick said it took him 20 years to get a Griffins. Yeah, it took me a while too, right? It took me a while. Didn't find my first Griffins until 2000 and maybe 19? 20? I'm not even sure. Ray said, bought a pizza from a new place. That's as risky as he gets. So, no, I get you. I get you. Risk doesn't always work out a lot of times. Fresh shock at Pindle right now. Have been farming the pits. Okay, fresh shock at Pindle. You can item find Barb those two. Hopefully you're doing that. Maybe, not sure. Depends on your character you're using, but they can both drop it. I don't know. I've done a lot of Pindle and Thresh Shocket runs. This is anecdotal. You'll have to look up the odds yourself. But I don't think I've ever found a Griffins off of either one of those guys. I found a Templar's Might off a Thresh Shocket one time, though. That was kind of crazy. Let me think back. Yeah, I can't remember a Griffins off of Pindle or Thresh Shocket. Of course, we know how much of a steel trap my memory is. Nothing gets out of there. Once something happens, I never forget it. I remember all. Right? Everybody in here knows I never forget anything. Trust me. Everybody knows it. Just Unemployed said he's got him from TZ Chaos. Yeah, any of the 85 areas. Actually, Griffins is only like is it an 84 item or an 83? So really, you can even find it in other places. I think I've even seen. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure I've seen somebody find a Griffins in cows before. I'm pretty sure I did. Like certain cows, like the certain elite cows I think can actually drop Griffins. But like I said, don't quote me on it. Don't go around telling everybody Phil said you for sure can. But I think I remember seeing that. One in 24,000 chance from both. Ah, so if you hit both super quick, that's 1 in 12,000 runs. So I'm assuming that's based upon your magic find level and stuff like that. But actually, if you hit both, it's 1 in 12,000 runs. But if you use item find, we'll call it a 50% item find. It would be 1 in 8,000 runs, 9,000. Math isn't my strong suit, but yeah, well, I think it would be 1 in 9,000 runs with item find. But if you had a higher item find chance, it was like 70 or 75%, you could get it down to like 1 in like 7,000 runs. Maybe. I think I mathed that right. Big William saying, Cheesy Andy in the afternoon tomorrow. Never mind, it's 9 p.m. Yeah, a little bit on the late side, so. If it's on Friday at 9, maybe I could stream then. Maybe. Quoted. Don't quote me. Yeah, hopefully don't you quoted me. Don't do that either. Don't do that trash. I don't know what it means, but it doesn't sound good. I never want to be quoted. Yeah, Randy. See, the thing is the statistical odds and the anecdotal evidence, not the same thing. Not the same thing. There's statistically where you can farm it from, and like I said, it's super rare. So it's just the best places to farm it are you're not going to find it in a day or two either. So that's how statistics work. That's how odds work. RNG. Mosaic Assassin with 385. Okay, all right. Definitely did a lot of Pindo and Thresh back in the day. Thresh Socket underrated, especially for single player. You can literally like if you don't count just from the time you load into the screen to the time Thresh Socket dies, you can literally do like 4-second Thresh Socket runs with a perfect map. With the Sorceress, that is, because you can telekinesis the waypoint. Like the load screens literally take longer than the run does for running Thresh Socket with a perfect map. A Zod off a Pindle, huh? That's crazy. Boy, I need to find more Zods. I need to find more Zods and Shams. Best find today, Acid. Nothing great. Nothing great. It's been over an hour, geez, yeah. But yeah, you can definitely, an hour-long dry streaks are not unheard of in D2, so no big deal. I mean, the best thing maybe like a high res. I found a high res like Royal Shield. Or socketed for like a spirit base, but that's not super great, but it's something. Notable, I suppose. The Gurk's Sanctuary. And this 3/20/20 Small Charm. Oh, boy, that'd be nasty. That would just be nasty. Gunlaw says, gun lawyer saying, still holding out for you to gamble a Tyrell's Might. Oh my gosh, that would be just so amazing if I gambled a Tyrell's Might. Just so nasty. Matt says he's got some crazy luck. Still can't find an SOJ though. So you got the, I think that was you that said you got a Zod, right? Can't find SOJ. Yeah, that's some of that RNG in D2, huh? Randy says not gonna find it in a day or two. I think talking about a Griffins, you're saying. Challenge accepted. Best of luck. I hope you do. Definitely hope you do for sure. All around Amelia saying was gonna make a Pit Zerker, but hasn't made a Grief though. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've never tried a Pit Zerker without a Grief. The thing is with Pit Zerker too is I generally don't do those without Enigma. Usually I got a Grief before Enigma though. But you can do them without Enigma, but I just prefer not to. The amount of time to get like out there and to get around, just not a fan personally. At that point I would kind of rather just be a sorceress than Pit Zerker. Patrick said, so Patrick, you say you gambled the Tyrael's Might up here a minute ago? You gambled Tyrael's, but you need a suicide branch. You haven't found a suicide branch. You were gambling Tyrael's Mights and you didn't find a suicide branch yet. Sounds strange, but congrats on that, I suppose. Perfect Raven lore? Does Mr. T? Well, I guess someone's got to find it, but yeah, that's incredibly uncommon to find a perfect Raven lore. You need like 10 different perfect rolls on an item, but see, that can be 1 to 2 to skeleton mastery, right? But strength, dex. Marowaks is a cool item. Marowaks is definitely a cool item. Used on some builds, but yeah, I don't need another pair of those. But you have Enigma and 2 Infinities. Never made a. You found 5 Burr runes and a jaw, or the runes to cube up to that, but never. But don't have a low, huh? Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Yeah, grief is definitely one of those rune words you want to get going on for sure. Maybe some lower Kuros run in and hope to get a couple ohms to cube up to it or something, or you could always pop off a low in LK for sure. Would I? Let's see. I think I would run lower Kuros if I really had that part of a problem finding a low to make grief. I think I might run lower Kuros to be able to do that. Grief is a very important rune word to get, so. Belair said he gets his lows from Mephisto's Council. Mephisto's Council. Yeah, I skip them so often that I don't really find too much from them, but usually the builds I run Mephisto with usually don't do good against the Council, so I always like very niche down my builds to do one specific thing. So just how I rock and roll, but congrats Matt on getting them all from Lower Kuros just now. Just now. Son of War, statistics guy here. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much get what you're saying, yeah. That if it's 1 in 8 in... What would I say? 1 in 9,000. It doesn't mean in 9,000 runs you're like almost guaranteed to get it. I mean, I gotcha. Yeah, it can go faster or slower, either way. Start doing 1 to Ubers. No. There's almost a 0% chance I would do those. I hate doing Ubers, so it's incredibly boring to do. I think they're boring to watch. It's one of those things. People ask me to do stuff like that all the time, but I don't think I could ever make content and stream if it was something I hated to do, right? Like, let's say hypothetically, and this is the example I use all the time. What if I could make a crocheting YouTube channel, and everyone wants me to make a crocheting YouTube channel, but I don't like crocheting. Like, do you think I could make good crocheting content? I don't think so. So that's why generally I just steer clear of that kind of stuff. I don't like watching it. I don't like doing it. So I don't make it. It's funny that that's my go-to example for, I probably get asked about a similar question to that. What would you guys say? 2 or 3 times every day, every time I stream? Because that's like the new hotness of content nowadays, is people just do a playthrough and then make a video talking about them playing through the game. Crocheting and playing Diablo 2 at the same time. Oh, Crash says no, it's more like 20 times per stream. Could be. Could be. See, that's the only good playthrough channel. It's crazy that you got to describe it as which of the numerous playthrough channels is the best playthrough channel. It's kind of cool in a way that Diablo 2 is so beloved in the community that just like loves the game so much that you can niche down your channel that specifically and you can still like get views, you know? It's pretty impressive, to be honest. Kind of cool. Uber runs with each character. I mean, there's a lot of things I could do, but like I said, I don't want to. It's not anything I want to do now. Hessian kid saying you've got the runes, but you don't have the base, huh? Yeah, all you need to get is a 5-socketed phase blade. I wouldn't worry about making a grief and a superior phase blade or anything like that. The added damage on grief is 99.99% of what makes it so great.
Rubos Donnie's donated £5 through Super Chat.
Oh!
Just for the crocheting analogy lol.
Thank you for the $5 super chat. Lubus, you slayer. Supporting the channel with a super chat. Crocheting, huh? I think, yeah, crocheting. I think it has a CH in the middle there, too. I think that's why I didn't pronounce it right, but appreciate you for the super chat. It's got to roast you for misspelling crochet. How do you not know how to spell crocheting? Unbelievable. Rare boots. What about them? There's no way that some rare boots dropped and I missed them. 0% chance that happened. I'll double check real quick. How far back am I gonna... Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. I wouldn't have missed them if it wasn't for chat's fault. Or something. Trash. Yo! Go Lions. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lions going all of the way. All of the way. 14 defense, legendary. Lions will always be the Lions, says Robert. I feel like that is meant to be condescending to the Lions. And that's completely off limits here. We are not SOL anymore, all right? A lot of people from not Detroit think SOL means bleep out of luck. But in Detroit, they refer to that as the same old Lions. We are not the same old Lions anymore. We are the new Lions. Let's go NL, baby. Wicked Ball says 27 and snowing. Yeah, it's supposed to snow in a few days here in Michigan, but it's not supposed to get below freezing. So yeah, it's supposed to be like 35 and raining, or snowing, I mean. So, which freezing in American in freedom is 32 degrees. Probably being a Leafs fan says trash. Well, yeah, I hear about the Leafs. I haven't personally experienced the tragedy of being a Leafs fan, but yeah, I know the tragedy of being a Lions fan, so. Dunce says nice and hot here all year. Let's see, Dunce, you're from Hawaii, wasn't it? test my memory. Hundreds of people in and out of stream. I think you were from Hawaii. How good's my memory? Nailed it. I remember everything in the whole world. I remember it. Never forget. Told ya. Lion's tragedy so real. Yep. I nearly broke my couch last. Oh well, 2 to max on the fire res. It's good. It's good. I don't know what can max damage go up to on a grand charm. Does it go up to 5? I think. So it's not great. It's like a fire with a little bit of a boost, but 30's the max on the fire. The thing is you often, let's say you're running Trav, you need more fire res, right? For the hydras and stuff. So it's okay. It's an okay if you need the fire res. All right, I'm kind of trying to justify it. I probably wouldn't use that in most places. I was trying to justify it, but yeah, no, I can't do it. I don't think. But yeah, the what I was saying was the Lions against San Francisco last year when it was like off the face mask for, you know, on the go to almost score to score a touchdown essentially, and then it was like this ridiculous fumble for them to get a touchdown, and then it was like this other ridiculous play for them to like, and I was like, what is going on? Like, please just stop giving the game away. And it was, oh, what a disaster. That off the face mask was, it is, oh my god. So many people know what I'm talking about, but yeah. Lions have the most talented wide receivers and running back, and made them both retire early. Yeah, sorta. This is true. Sorta. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the Lions now. Think the Lions are going to break the record for the most points in the season, averaging over 40 a game. Let's see. We still got games against. We got Indy this week. We got the Bears twice. I think we play Minnesota again, right? Minnesota's going to be a high scoring usually. I'm not sure if they will or not. I actually didn't know that that was a thing right now. That they were on pace to do anything like that. Yeah, for average, and the thing is too, if they break the record for averaging the most points per game, it's actually impressive because there's more games. Because it's not like the most total points per season, because more games would help you. But the thing is, if there's more games and you average more points per game, that's actually harder to do than averaging more points per game with less games, because you have more opportunities to come up short to pull your average down. So, kind of impressive. I didn't know that they were on pace for that, if that's true, so. They are so good now. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I'm not going to lie, they have played some pretty weak teams this year. But, I mean, they don't make their schedule, right? So, hopefully that's not going to be an issue. Like, sometimes when teams play really bad teams, they, like, you know, they start to play down to their competition. And then when they play against a hard team, they get their butts kicked. So sometimes it's almost better to play all hard teams, and then, you know, steel sharpens steel, as the, you know, that's the saying goes or whatever. So even though your record might be like, you know, just barely over 500, your team is actually better, but it's just because you played so much hard teams and you're used to playing close, hard games to eke them out, you know what I mean? So. Opposite for the Leafs. Talking about the easy schedule, or setting the record for most points scored or something like that. Dunn says, talking about Hawaii, only complaint is the waves in the winter, huh? They get massive from November to February. Nice. Nice. Yeah, when we went to Hawaii, there were not big waves. I feel like we went in like February too, but there weren't big waves at the time. When did we go? I don't remember. I think it was in February. It was during whale season, I know that, but 60 foot and above. Yeah, I'd heard about that because we went out to like the Jaws place where there's supposed to be like huge waves that people surf. We walked all the way out there down this huge long path. It was like 2 miles out, like a 2-mile walk out, and then it was like just flat, literally flat water. And we're like, okay, well, my wife had been there before back in the day before she met me. And she's like, it was crazy. There was all these surfers out there and there was all these jet skis pulling the surfers out. And then like the waves were huge and it was crazy. But then we went and it was like, oh, it's completely flat, still water. There was like 5-foot waves, maybe. I'm exaggerating saying it was completely flat. There was like, what I would guess from the distance we were at would be like 4 or 5-foot waves, which is like nothing. So came just after it happened. Yeah, probably. That's what it seemed like. Like it probably had just like died down. But you know, we didn't kind of pick it because of hoping for the biggest waves or anything. But that's just, we just went when we could go, kind of thing. When the plane tickets were cheaper, to be honest. Because like one plane ticket to Hawaii from Michigan is like, just one ticket is like over $2,000 or something ridiculous. Flawless says, please let the Niners play an NFC North team in the playoffs. Well, it's probably going to end up being, if the Niners make it, it's probably going to be the Lions. So it'll probably be a rematch, huh? Could be. See, Sunil says the Leafs lose to easy teams, beat the hard teams. That's funny. Unfortunate. Tuning in to Sweetfield stream, Jay Frenetic, what's going on? Welcome in. Right when your favorite track hits. Ooh. Nice. It's like 1,000 from Europe. Well, I wouldn't doubt that that's true. It might be further. It was from Michigan, Hawaii was 14 hours, I think. 14-hour flight. Flight time from Michigan to Hawaii. How long is from Michigan to Hawaii? It says 10 hours and 9 minutes. I think ours, we had a layover, so maybe that's why it took 14 hours. With time zone change? There are some time zone changes, but yeah, we ended up taking a 2-hour layover, I do remember, in Seattle. Yeah, because I think it's far enough that you can't fly straight through from Michigan to Hawaii. I'm pretty positive. You either have to land in you could land, there's a lot of different places. Seattle, LA. I think there was one that did a layover in Denver, maybe. I think it's too far from Michigan, but this is Players 8. I don't usually use this on since I'm getting most of my damage from the hurricane, really. You can get the tornadoes, nothing to scoff at, but 3K a hit on the hurricane plus the minus res. Players 3, I just, it's a really easy play for that, so. Gunn said where he's at, the waves are hitting like 50 feet. Wow. I couldn't even imagine what that would look like. Yeah, I got a low rolled Doom, exactly. Yep. Unfortunate. Lions Bills game will be nuts this year. Oh yeah, I forgot that they're playing the Bills here too. Yeah, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I kind of hope. I'm a big fan of just blowing people out when I want my team to win. So hopefully the Lions just blow them out. Boy, running the quarterbacks that can run like Allen though are so annoying. So annoying. Bills took down Kermit. Oh, you're talking about Patrick Mahomes. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, watching that. Allen, I remember watching it, getting super excited because I have Josh Allen on a fantasy team, and he had that like 35 or 40 yard touchdown run, and I was like, oh, like I'm freaking out on the, in the living room by myself. First ever Pride, says Frenetic. Got an anti-perfect roll. Oof. I think did I make a Pride and it rolled real bad too? So yeah, I'm right there with you. Not the bestest of luck, but what you gonna do, huh? What you gonna do? Ooh, CCBQ, do it! No. What you gonna do? 11-0 in a $500 fantasy league. Good God. Good God, 11-0. Congrats on that one, Snow Pro. How is this not late? Named Dr. Doom, Green Hood. I don't know. I don't really understand the reference, so that's probably why. Swish, but yeah. Snowpro said he's got a buddy trying to fly in from Texas and there's no direct route. Am I reading that correctly? He's trying to fly in from Texas, no direct flight, huh? Oh, that's unfortunate. Because usually Texas isn't too far, so that's just a weird time or whatever, I guess, that there's no direct routes at the moment. Or maybe he tried to book kind of late, so they're all taken, pretty much. Not sure, obviously, but... yeah, we went to Texas a few years back. So, Thomas, yo! Almost lunchtime, Fishaholic. What's going on? Almost. It's almost 2 o'clock. What do you mean almost lunchtime? Mr. Salesman mentioning up here a minute ago, yeah, that Allen run was insane. It was hype. It was hype if you got Allen on your fantasy team, that's for sure. That's for sure. Lions at 336 points this season. 2013 Broncos had the record at 600 points, averaging 37 points a game. Yeah, I don't see, with already playing like the Titans and blowing them out and playing, I feel like we don't necessarily have all of our easiest matchups coming up. So yeah, we're probably not going to get to the most points scored in average per season, but yeah, still impressive. I forget which game it was the other day, but I think the Lions, not that it's like number one, it was not even necessarily close to number one, but I think they were at like the 22nd most points in an NFL game. It was either the Titans or the the Titans game or the Jaguars game that put them up on the list. I know they fell within the top 25 of most points scored in a NFL football game. Another pair of these, 193, 1917 roll. I think those can go up to 20, so that's pretty good. If you do need those stats on a build besides Necromancer, because I think the Skeleton Mastery can get 2. I mean, if you're not using a Necromancer summons, it doesn't matter too much. But I mean, the strength and the defense roll at least is good. Yeah, just one to mastery though. So cool though. Cool though. It's not till July the trip you're talking about, Snow Pro. Yeah, I guess I forgot that I had just read that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't have a straight through flight from Texas. He must. I don't know. The only guess I can have is that maybe does he fly only one particular airline, and that's just how they do it or something. My only guess, but trash it, not 2 skills. I mean, there's tons of times when you wouldn't trash that. The skills quite literally only help you if you're using specifically only a summon necro, and it helps you like 0.5%. Charcy. $11 a.m. in Oregon. Okay, there you go. Wait, everyone doesn't have the same time as me? Are you kidding me, Fishaholic? I thought it was 2 p.m. everywhere. But actually, the way I commented on your last comment, that's the way I worded it, as if that was true. He really wants to go to Texas anyway, says Fishaholic. I mean, Texas is cool. Takes a long time to get everywhere in Texas. If you want to go to one place and then, one city, and then you want to drive over to another city, boy, it's like 3.5 hours to like between every city in Texas. Like, I forget the actual stat or whatever, but doesn't it take like 14 hours to drive across Texas or something like that? Like just Texas, like furthest point to furthest point, but something crazy like that. Yeah, forget those. Couple little skellies, no need to do that. Oahu only takes 2.5 hours to drive all the way around, right? Well, yeah, Hawaii's some little islands, right? Thomas says, getting snow today. Are you, I don't remember, are you in Michigan too, where I'm at? I didn't think it was supposed to snow today, but thought it was like a different day. Oh, in Iowa. Okay, that makes sense. Because, yeah, I thought it was tomorrow. So the direction that weather generally travels, that would make sense. That would make sense. Patrick says, those travel hours make no sense to me. You can cross 5 countries in 12 hours. Yeah, United States is pretty big. Pretty big. But yeah, that's why it's called the United States, because it's essentially all of our states are the size of like countries, the European countries anyways. So Dunn said working on a Boazon. All right. Yeah, I've never been a big Boazon fan, but yeah, the people that like Boazon, so best of luck. Hopefully that works out for you and you like it a bunch. Takes days to drive across the United States. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure it's over 48 hours to drive across the United States, from side to side. I think it's something like, I don't really know. I'm pretty sure it's over 48 hours though. Like if you drove nonstop, I mean. Dude, my uncle, he decided to do this challenge where he rode a pedal bike, not like a motorcycle. He rode a pedal bike from the East Coast Ocean, like literally East Coast all the way to the West Coast. He rode his bike from like Virginia or something to Oregon. It took him like 3.5 months or something. I don't remember exactly how long it took, but a long time. What a crazy, like, not like he's a lunatic for doing it, but like impressive crazy, you know? Ivan says some of his friends complain they gotta walk 20 minutes to the pub. Devastating, right? Just devastating. Dunn said you're liking the Boazon so far. Nice, nice. Yeah, never really been my favorite, but Brennick said Texas got like 4 or 5 big cities, so no surprise the travel distance is long. Yeah, Texas is just ginormous. Just ginormous. Thomas says you want to hike the Appalachian Trail. Talking about my whole family here. My aunt used to live in like Tennessee, and she used to do a lot of hiking, and I'm pretty sure she did that back in the day. You could ask why do that, like right across the whole country, but also someone could ask why farm trails might. That's kind of a good question. I think it would be, I don't know about riding across the whole country, but I would do, my brother did like a 7-day, like a week long, it was just like in Michigan though. I don't remember if it was from like south to north. I think he rode up all the way up Michigan. It was like a 7-day trail or like path or whatever you want to call it. I mean, like 75% of it's on the road. So my brother did a week. It'd be something cool to do. Sometimes I wish I would take the motivation to do something like that, but then I don't have the motivation to do it. Jeff Beal, yo, welcome in. Dark Woods, go farm tree fist woodhead. Yeah, I don't know about this build. If I had one of my sorceresses to do whatever, you know, maybe, but this build, it takes too long to cast all the stuff to get ready to go. What is going on here? Why am I dying so fast? I know I got amp or whatever, but it's like my cyclone armor isn't working here. Could be because I have minus 50 res, huh? Nope. Last time I found a unique sacred armor. It's been a long time. I don't know how long, William, but a long time. Make Chains of Honor. You want a recommendations on Chains of Honor or wait to make Enigma? I would definitely wait to make Enigma. See, Chains of Honor's Dol Umberist, right? I pretty much only use Chains of Honor. Let me make sure that I'm remembering here. Let's see. Yeah, I only use Chains of Honor on my Act 2 Mercenary for... I have a... Right here, this is the only time I use Chains of Honor ever. For the Life Leech and for the Res on my Mercenary. And I don't always use that, but specifically when I'm using a Prayer Mercenary with the Cure Helm, I never use Chains of Honor on a Sorceress. Ever. Never ever. So, I would definitely say wait for Enigma. If you wanted my take on it. Dutton says, keeps finding the green sacred armor. Yeah, I've definitely found my fair share of those in my day. That's for sure. Morpheus saying something like 85% of the population live right by the American border. Yeah. I forget what video it was. I was watching a video that's like things that'll make you think differently about Canada or something. Something like 80, and it was some number like you said. And the way that maps look and stuff, the way the latitude lines are drawn, it looks like a lot of Canada is further north than it is sometimes. Something like, I don't remember the percentage, if it was 60% or 80%, but something like 60 to 80% of the Canadian population lives further south than like Oregon. Than like the northern part of Oregon. Something, some number like that. Like the peninsula part of Canada that sticks down next to Michigan, like almost all the population in Canada lives there. A large percentage anyways. Here we go, says Trash. That's just something I heard. "100% of Canada lives near hockey rinks." Could be true. Cannot confirm nor deny that. Cannot confirm nor deny. Don't forget, YouTuber fellas, I haven't shouted out today, but make sure you hit that like button for me. We got, what did I say? We got 60 likes on the stream today? Oh boy. Come on, fellas. We got 150 in here on YouTube right now. We've had 1,000 people come into stream and we've only got 60 likes. Come on, fellas. Pump those numbers up. Beal said he uses Enigma on my Sorceress just so OP. Yeah, true story. I use Enigma on anytime I can have Enigma anyways, which sometimes it's hard to get. But if I have Enigma, I use that on my Sorceress almost all the time. I know Energy Shield is a little bit different situation, but most of them I use that, so. Ooh, Frenetic says D2R on sale today. Ooh, let's go. If anyone was thinking about picking it up on the Battle.net store, huh? Oregon. 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 See, I got it. I got it. Cinnabar Jewel of Fever. Ogre Agon. Yeah, I got it. Where to find Farm Ja? So statistically, your best bet is going to be LK running, and then cubing the runes you find up to Ja. Just FYI. It's incredibly boring, but beyond that, there's not particularly a quote-unquote best. It's, I mean, you could say Chaos Sanctuary, I guess, but like, I wouldn't try to, like, technically this is the best place to farm Ja, so I'm only going to run this one place, unless it's Lower Kurast. I would rotate between places that you enjoy farming to find other things and just hope you find a Ja. But the number one thing I would recommend is run LK for a while to get the, you know, Sirs and Burrs to cube up to Ja. So yeah, the first time I was playing in LOD, the first time I like started an offline single player account and like took it seriously, I ran LK to make Enigma. And after I got Enigma, which Enigma makes your farming so much more efficient because you can teleport on every character, you can farm everywhere, you can hammer it in the Chaos Sanctuary, all that stuff. It took me 1.5 years to find my first Ja rune in the wild. So, and this is anecdotal, I always recommend everybody to not try to just go out and farm a Ja from like Arcane Sanctuary or something. You can, and I know people have found Ja runes from Arcane Sanctuary. But farming all the different Chaos Sanctuary, it took me 1.5 years to find my first Ja rune, and I found it at Eldritch, actually. So, Saffron says in all of D2R, he said he found 2 or 3 Ja runes, like, directly, actually found them. Yeah. So yeah, about how I only found, or it took me 1.5 years to find my first Ja rune. After I found my first Ja rune, I was still running Lower Kurast with my, I don't remember what kind of Necromancer I was using. I think it was a Poison Necro, and I was running Eldritch and Shank. The very next day, I found another Ja rune. Or the next time I streamed, I guess it would have been. And then less than a month later, I found another Ja rune. So, but you could get lucky. The thing, LK is a lot more consistent, so it's not perfectly consistent. Nothing is ever going to be, but in D2R. But yeah. So yeah, in 1 month I found 3 Ja runes, and but it took me 1.5 years to find the first one. So yeah, you see a lot of people coming in with different recommendations on where they like to, you know, where they find Ja runes or whatever. And it just kind of lends credence to what I said before, that there's not really going to be one particular place. It's whatever place that you enjoy farming the most. Like, to be honest, I probably find most of the high runes that I find on the way down to the Countess killing packs. But the reason that's where I find most of my high runes is that's where I usually farm at. You know, I go farm the Countess a lot. So I end up killing a lot of packs on the way to the Countess, which means I end up finding stuff. So just wherever you kill monsters the fastest and you enjoy is really where I'd recommend going, or running LK. Save some Jaws for the rest of us. Well, I don't find that many. Like in the 3.5 years I've been doing this on single player, I might have found a few of them. Like maybe like 2 or 3, like Saffron was saying. Agree. Where am I in chat replay? Not sure what you mean there, Max. Do I enjoy single player or ladder resets more? What do I enjoy more? I don't know, but I like doing both. I don't think I would pick which one. I wouldn't want to have to choose, because I like doing the ladder resets, playing like a week to a month after a ladder reset. I don't like playing like like ladder's gonna reset in like 2 weeks. I don't like playing ladder right now. I'd rather play single player, but you know, I wouldn't want to. I like the way you can cycle back and forth, so I wouldn't want to have to choose. So I would just say I don't want to choose. So yeah, Fishaholic or anybody else who's kind of wondering. So somebody said they seen on Twitter on December 6th, but I have not confirmed it yet. I don't know where they seen it. I don't know who said it or whatever. So that's just what I had heard. But Morpheus, I was talking about the Jaw runes, and then Morpheus says, and then you land a couple of Ohm runes on back-to-back runs. Yeah, or you said the same day, but yeah, they were back-to-back runs. Crazy enough. Yeah, it's just craziness, right? Beal saying single player where it's at. Yeah, definitely like single player for sure. I definitely like how I do it though, how I play offline single player, but then I go back for the resets. I think that's where it's at. Boy, look at this poison. Something got me good. Get out of here. Flawless, welcome in. Midweek Slayed, Mark. What's going on? Yep, hump day. Good old Wednesday. Morpheus said only benefit to online is playing between console and PC, between different platforms. I don't know. I like, being able to trade. It kind of lends some new excitement to finding things. Finding a Shaco early on in ladder is exciting, but like finding a Shaco right now on single player is not super exciting for me. So it does add some excitement. Like even finding like you're on a playthrough and you're like, whoa, yes, Mage Fists, let's go. But obviously Mage Fists are not going to be that exciting at this point on single player. So I like that it adds excitement and entertainment to finding items that you normally would not be excited to find. So, but you can play cross-platform online characters. Yes, yeah. You can't, like, if you're on console, you can't play with your buddy who's playing on PC. But if you play on PC and then you had your Nintendo Switch and you were like sitting at the DMV or something, and you could get an internet connection, you could play, your characters or whatever. The same characters, same gear and everything. Any websites to trade on? So yeah, the two websites that most people use is either the super old school one, D2JSP, or some people don't like that site, so there is another one called Tradery that essentially just is like a matchmaking site for trading on D2. So it just helps people who want to trade find the person who, wants to trade for a rune or whatever item. So, did I say Tradery? Yeah, it's called Tradery. I thought I said it, but I can't remember for sure now. I kind of go back and forth using both, so. Mary, welcome in. Yo. Justin says there's some good Discord trading rooms too. Gotcha. I have never really taken advantage of that. I guess I've heard of some of that, but I've never looked into it. I hate how this playlist has the same song twice in a row. I hates it. That's a Slayer's face if you ever seen one. Yeah, I was in the middle of rocking out there. The power of beastly rock demanded it for a second. Favorite bald gamer? Doing pretty good. Hopefully you're doing good as well. Natalie says husband's a big fan of this channel and is watching it right now. Give a shout out. Matt Davies, yo! Welcome in. Welcome in, Natalie and Matt. Two absolute legends there. Ooh. Welcome in, welcome in. Beal talking about the two trade sites. Tradery laid back JSP elite players. I mean, it could be a little bit of both. Trader or JSP is just like so much faster than Tradery, just like on factors of 100, to be honest. Sometimes Tradery's okay, but I have a lot of struggle with Tradery, just like people not responding and this and that, and not being able to find what you're looking for, and having the people also respond to you. They'll respond back like 18 hours later, and you're like, ugh. So, and then like you can't meet up with them, and it ends up going like 4 days going by, and then the values of items change, and they don't want to trade anymore. It's like, oh my gosh. On JSP, you can just be like 100 perfect amethysts, and 4 seconds later, a guy like sends you a game name, and then you click a button, and then he like, bing, 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 bing. They just start dropping, and then you have them all within a minute. Scott says, the secret to finding high runes at LK is don't look for high runes. Hope for skillers, and then you'll end up finding high runes. You reverse psychologize the game, huh? Good thinking. Good thinking. Have I heard the new from All That Remains? No, I have not. Boy, gonna sound old again, but I don't really look into a lot of like newer music, I guess. Maybe I should someday, huh? Boomer Phil. Look for Tyrell's Might and you'll find anything else. Well, that can't. I don't believe in that kind of stuff really, but it might appear that way. Ooh, looking for ogre axes, finding them everywhere. Dust says play online. You'll fully gear out any characters of my choice. Yeah, no, that's it. I don't need that. I've had tons of fully geared out characters. Not usually, but most of the time at the end of ladders, I just give the fully decked out characters away. So I've probably given away like 4 or 5 fully decked out sorceresses and stuff, and infinities, enigmas and stuff. I don't need the gear, so. Three open socketed Archon. Yeah, these type of questions, I know the technically the best answer, but for how I'll tell you how I find that kind of stuff, and I'll tell you what technically the best quote unquote possible is going to be. I just go out in magic find and farm just generally, and then I just find that stuff eventually. So now technically the best way is going to be lowest possible magic find in the place that you kill monsters as fast as possible. So a lot of times it's going to be hell cows with the least amount of magic find, but that's not what I would kind of recommend doing. But I would usually just recommend doing whatever else you're doing to like try, like let's say you need to get keys eventually to farm, like I would kind of hit the tower kill packs along the way, hopefully getting lucky finding runes or any of the bases, kill the countess, get the keys, get the runes you need to make all different kinds of things with those runes, then kind of move on to the arcane sanctuary and kill monsters all along the way, hoping to get runes and get the key at the end too. So I really don't like trying to do only one thing and only trying to find one thing and specifically target that one item, especially for rune word bases, because I just never get the right ones. So I would pretty much just recommend magic find and farm your favorite locations and hope for the best. So Rondash. Oopsie. Yeah, so for those bases and the levels and stuff like that, just remember the whole, and Saffron can attest to this, just remember the whole cows sacred armor fiasco we had just like a week ago, so. Just remember, when you look up those levels, I don't know, some things are a little fuzzy when it comes around to that stuff. Well, it's not a roast on Saffron, but I'm just saying, like, even if those, it says like, oh, well, technically it's this level, so, and cows are 83. I don't know exactly the item level, what can drop this and that, but I know sacred armor's up there, and it fell out, it just drops off of normal cows. Easy peasy, so. I'm busy. No, I'm busy. Yeah, feel free. Feel free, you're fine. How's there a TC-87? Really? You can find Tyrell's Might off a standard cow. Interesting. 65k subs. Let's go! Yeah. Yeah, we're creeping up there. Creeping up there. Grinding away, right? Yeah, Saffron, I was joking. I was joking. So Saffron, are you saying cows have a... Yeah, the whole treasure class monster level, the way that they're applied in this game, I seriously just... Everyone says it's so basic, but every time they explain it, it just doesn't make any sense. So monsters just have a random monster level applied to them, and then they also have a completely random treasure class level applied to them that has nothing to do with anything. Good old Dusk Shrouds, there you go. Good old vengeance. Yep, nope. Doesn't make sense, Saffron. No sense at all. No sense at all. Yeah, that's where it gets me. The monster level, the area level, the treasure class, nothing to do with it. It's like, man, don't like that at all. Don't like that at all. Wait, what? Sir, there he is. There he is. Too many items everywhere. Couldn't see him. Weird system, but that's how they made it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if it's weird because I just don't get it. But yeah. Can't believe the Diablo dropped me 4 Ormuses this week. Interesting. Good old Ormuses. That's one of those items I didn't until a couple ladders ago. I didn't realize that those enchant Ormuses were actually worth anything. Because there's no way I would ever use an enchant Ormus, but apparently people do like using those. Matt Pike. I think, I don't know about all the time, but at the time, someone said that and I was like, are you sure? I don't believe that. That doesn't sound right. And I look it up and it's like, oh, they're going for 2 burrs right now in Tradery. I was like, oh. Interesting. Like a perfect roll on the fire damage anyways, and with enchant. They were like a couple burrs on Tradery. I was like, okay, well, I missed that one. Oh well. Runics, can't those be my mosaic base? Wow. Beal said, still looking for a fireball Ormus. Like to try it out and see the damage boost. Yeah, for me, like, especially being like a magic finder with 100 magic find and just everything else, all that strength and stuff, it's hard to get past that. Hard to get past it for me anyways. Wait, why is... Oh, how did Battle Command get unequipped? Interesting. I have not been using Battle Commands this entire time. How about that? Sounds like something Phil would do. Thanks a lot, chat, for not noticing that. Saffron says they should remove strength and magic find from Enigma. Yeah, I'm never good at deciding what they should take off or add to items to make things perfectly balanced or something. I'm a proponent of there's always going to be a best in slot, so I don't really think they should get rid of that excitement of like, yes, I finally got the best gear. I would rather have it that way than be like, it doesn't really matter. You like, there's these 15 armors that are all the exact same power, so it doesn't really matter what you end up getting. It all ends up the same. I don't really like that idea, but. See, someone said rune words should never be best in slot. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Without rune words, literally white and gray items would just become completely worthless. Every single white and green and blue item, or white and gray item, would just instantaneously become worthless and pointless to exist in the game. So then you'd end up with like a D4 situation where, you know, We don't want that. Personally. Item should never be best in slot for every class. Quest or dot. Yeah, it is for most stuff. Should never be best in slot for every class. I mean, I guess I get what you're saying, but I mean, what's going to be the alternative? If the only way you could have this not be best in slot for every class is something that everybody uses, if you take teleport off it, and then you would just have to put teleport on somewhere else or on a bunch of other items. I definitely, maybe we'll go back to my risk management personality, we'll say. I would prefer them not to change things. Because you know what, if you change things, then they're different. No. Then they can mess things up. But if they don't change things, then they can't mess things up. So, meanwhile, everyone's wearing Shaco, right? Meanwhile, every caster has an Arachnid mesh on. Meanwhile, right? Meanwhile, every single person has an anti-charm. Every single person has a torch. Every single person has a Geats. Meanwhile, you know, there's always going to be a best in slot. If you took a teleport from Enigma, what was that? Let's see, everybody would just play Sorceress. Right. Yeah, I do remember how Sorceress was just everywhere back in the day. Yeah, even more so than nowadays. Even remove Call to Arms, Enigma, return to Staff of Teleport. Yeah, I don't know. Eddie up here a minute ago says, how does making things not best in slot make them trash? Well, there's a lot of things even now that aren't necessarily, they're not best in slot, but nobody's going to use them because they're not the best in slot, right? If something's not the best possible gear, then people aren't going to use it really, or they'll use it for a short time until they can get the best thing. Ghost Spear. See if we can get a ethereal version here. Good point, Tomas. Never thought of it that way. Every player shouldn't have best in slot. So you want to make all the best items even more rare than Furs and Jaws and stuff already are. You want them to be more rare than that. That would not go over great in the community for sure. If you made the best items right now even more rare. If you made them twice as rare, everybody would still get them. It would just take twice as long. Not everybody, but all the people that do. and then it would make the people that have struggles finding him even more upset. So, or even more like likely to quit the game because they can't find the things they need. So I would not agree with that. And now if you're a super dedicated player that plays all the time, I get what you're saying, but the average player isn't like, you know, isn't like that. I don't believe anyways. Expansion of crafting, says Eddie. Yeah, a lot of the crafting stuff isn't great. There's really only a few things that people really want to do. When you say expand it even more, I mean, maybe. For that, I kind of fall back on my, you know, don't trust more changes type of position, personally. But that's just me. Oopsie. Just Unemployed says they need to add unique arrows. Nice. About the only thing for, we'll say something for arrows they should change. Just make them unlimited quantity already. Just make them unlimited quantity already. Yeah, basic quality of life stuff is generally, that's generally my cutoff. I am anti-change guy after all, though, right? So, kind of makes sense. Yeah, Thrune got me good. Joker, no, I have it's a Doom for the minus cold res. So it boosts up the damage of the Hurricane. $242. Is this so Joker, I'm specifically doing like a max cold damage version of this build to where almost all my damage comes from the Hurricane. The standard Wind Druid is probably a little bit better than this. So if you're doing a Tornado Druid, you're gonna want to rock probably the Heart of the Oak. But you notice how like it's like tick tick and everything's dead. Specifically for this area, specifically for this like build, specifically this way. A lot of specificallys here. I went with Doom to get the cold damage, yeah, so. Oh, everything's dead already? Over there? Was there one guy hiding? Yeah, forget him. Yeah, that's a good point from Eddie here. They said there's so many good D2 mods right now, but for D2R he would settle just for quality of life changes and stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty I like that opinion right there. That's the correct opinion. They leave my game the same if you want to play all these changes. There's tons of mods out there to do that kind of stuff. Tons of them. No Nightwings. No. I didn't see a kill speed difference because whether I have Nightwings on or Shaco, the skeletons were taking 2 damage ticks from the Hurricane, and then the bugs, the beetles, were taking 3, regardless of whether I was wearing Nightwings or not. So the boosted damage wasn't enough to change it from, you know, the number of damage ticks to kill a monster. So even though it is more slightly more damage, it's not enough to matter for kill speed. In this particular area, at least. Where is he? There he is. Couldn't find him. Didn't realize you could use Doom in an X. Yeah, I mean, let's see, you can put it in a polearm, right? Isn't it pole? I don't even remember everything you can put it in, but yeah, got this one in an X right here. Axe, polearm, hammers. Gotcha. Couldn't remember offhand, but yeah. You can fight Mephisto, Bale, and most importantly Diablo. Why are people complaining? I see what you did there. Little D4 dig, huh? Little D4 dig. Jackson saying being stuck in old childhood memories. Yeah, I gotcha. Just playing regular D2R. Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. D2R's got some changes, but it's not too far off the beaten path. A lot of people want way more changes, but yep, Phil and Danielle here are gonna stick with the anti-change guys, anti-change person stuff. Joker said, big fan of the Wind Druid. Yeah, Wind Druid's okay. The pathing on the tornadoes is kind of meh. One of the reasons I made this more like strictly Hurricane Druid. I usually just look around for the champion and let the Hurricane take out the normal monsters. Throw a couple of tornadoes at the champion and then move on. Like Kelly Stomp, NATO. Let the Hurricane take care of everything else. Warcraft remaster thoughts. I don't really have any thoughts on it. I never was. That was never my thing. I was never into that game, so. Guess I just don't have any thoughts on it. Imagine if they remastered D2 all cartoony. I guess, yeah, I didn't see it, so I'm guessing they made the original Warcrafts look like World of Warcraft, I'm guessing, is what you're getting at? Yeah, I haven't heard much. People mentioned it the other day because obviously it's a Blizzard, you know, product or whatever you want to say, but yeah, beyond that, I don't really know anything about it. Thomas saying the OG version, the new version is a mess. Gotcha, yeah. I mean, I could see them doing that with, you know, how popular World of Warcraft was, you know. It's kind of why Diablo 3 ended up that way too, huh? They're like, well, it worked out so good for this particular franchise, so go ahead and try that again. Just looking at something real quick. Do forgive me.
All right.
Chris,
Sacco
yo!
donated $5 through Super Chat. Hi Phil, can we get a let's get after it?
Maybe we'll think about it. Thank you so much, Chris, for the $5 super chat. Let's get after it. Ooh. Appreciate you for the channel support. You legend. Oop, what am I doing? Haven't thrown out Let's Get After It a whole lot lately. Usually just rock the keep slaying at the end of videos, but yeah, we can do that once in a while. Appreciate you once again, by the way. Very kind of you. Oh boy. This guy, another $5 super chat. Thank you so much.
Justin, you don't need to know, donated $4.99 through Super Chat. What about an
Oh. There you go. You're welcome. That's so funny how the AI voice reads that sometimes. Justin, you don't need to know. Justin, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You slayer. Ooh. That's more what you meant, I'm sure. Not ooh. That AI voice. So funny. So funny. Thomas saying, hopefully they don't go and ruin the Diablo 1 remake. If they're making one, right? I know there was a little bit of a rumor, speculation, whatever you want to call it on that front. We'll see, we'll see. Ooh, bash charges. What? Oh, I opened my... The item disappeared on me. What's going on? Scott saying the super cartoony looking games totally throw him off. Can't get into them. Yeah, it does kind of rub me the wrong way too. I would say it's like a total, I don't know. I guess it kind of is a deal breaker because I never really, the most cartoony games I played, I guess, were like Final Fantasy VII, I guess, is about the only one. But that was like almost a graphical limitations as well, that they decided to go that route. I feel anyways, I don't know for sure, but I feel like it was almost better back then because, you know, you couldn't make things look more realistic. So you kind of had to go a cartoony route, but of course, that was like in '97, so. What's up with the printer cam? Yeah, haven't whipped out the printer cam in a while, huh? That's for special occasions. That's not just an every random Wednesday type of thing. Let's see, Joker saying Borderlands graphics ruined it for him. I barely touched that game, so I think I played it for like 10 minutes at a friend's house one time or something like that back in the day, but yeah, that one, I don't know, it was kind of cartoony, but it was almost more like stylistical rather than like stylized instead of cartoony, but could be wrong. Like I said, I don't have too much knowledge on it. I barely played it at all. Ever run Ancient Tunnels? Yes. Yep. Found my first Griffins in the Ancient Tunnels. It's kind of one of those things that I ran so much Ancient Tunnels before Resurrected that, you know, you just kind of don't think about it. I don't think about it anymore as much. There's so much back in the day. Just Ancient Tunnels was the only place to go for gold everything, but mainly Blizzard Sorceress, right? So. Only on National Printer Day, yeah. There's got to be a National Printer Day, right? I mean, there's a National, like, Yo-Yo Day. There's a National Pogo Stick Day. There's got to be a National Printer Day, right? Or maybe I could start it up. Maybe. Beelzebub? Chris, Beelzebub. I've never heard of that. It sounds like a Diablo 1 mod, based upon what you said after that. But I've never heard of it. Or don't remember it. But I remember everything and I never forget anything, so it must have never heard it before. You just roll your eyes at me? Gal back over here rolling her eyes at me when I say I never forget anything. She knows I never forget everything. Wait, I never forget everything? I think I said that wrong. You know what? I never really paid attention. Can anyone know this offhand? Can rare staffs roll with enhanced damage? I was just wondering, like, could you find a rare Archon staff that rolled with, like, increased attack speed and enhanced damage, you know what I mean? Never thought about it before. But I don't remember ever seeing enhanced damage on a staff. But the number of rare staffs I've identified in my life, boy, I could probably count it on my fingers. Any rare staff enjoyers out there that know if they can roll with enhanced damage and attack speed? Good old spider forest. So yeah, no, Thomas, the increased attack speed wouldn't matter for casters. But if, like, Archon staffs have a super high minimum damage, right? That's why, like, if you find an ethereal 6-socketed superior Archon staff that has enhanced damage, you can make a Breath of Dying in it. And then your minimum and maximum damage is like, once again, don't remember the exact numbers offhand, but you'll have like 680 to like 702 damage or something, like on the base weapon. So that's what I was thinking. Like, could you find some crazy, you know, staff you could use on like a Fury Druid or something that would be super cool? That's kind of what I was thinking in my head. So is Blizz Hydra Sork viable? Yeah, yep. That's a common dual spec option, we'll call it. I'm not much of a dual spec kind of person, but some people are, and that's a. I feel like because if you do Blizzard Hydra, you're not kind of getting the max potential out of Blizzard. It'll still work reasonably good though. A lot more people will go with like Orb Hydra. But you can do Blizzard Hydra, but you'll just end up with Blizzard maxed out with like whatever you end up putting into the mastery, depending on how many plus skills you have on your gear. And then you might max out like one of the synergies for Blizzard, or maybe two, depending on your level or what you end up putting all your points through. Let's see. That much damage, this Thomas? Yeah, I don't remember offhand. I could actually Google real quick what let's see. D2R body Archon staff image. Well, it's a little off from what I said, but the minimum damage was I looked up one. I didn't see if it's superior or not. The minimum damage was just under 600, and the max damage was 711. So on the particular Breath of the Dying Archon staff I just looked up, but so you get that super high minimum damage is kind of the neat thing with it. Like TMCG, it looks like you looked it up for me. Appreciate you. You said it doesn't look like it can get enhanced damage, so. But skills, though. Gets skills, so. Okay. Appreciate you. Kind of makes sense. I've never seen one with, that I remember anyways, with enhanced damage, so. But yeah, Chris, never heard of that mod or whatever. I just, I'm not a huge Diablo 1 player, right? The first time I ever played through Diablo 1 was just like a few months back, to be honest. I was just straight into D2 and ready to rock. Enigma breastplate or mage plate? I mean, choosing between those two, I would choose mage, personally. But yeah. Personally, I'd go with Wormhide. No, I kind of made it in that for the lulz, to be honest. For the laughs, for the funnies. Joker said he tried Hydra, but he didn't really like it. Yeah, I mean, it can have, it can be okay. The thing is what, it only has the one synergy, so you can kind of get them, you know, you just kind of feel like you get the amount of damage on it if you can. Plus, you can drop them down and then just kind of like run away and let them shoot. It's not like super good, but it's definitely like a player's one difficulty thing that can help you out. Drop them down against like Andariel, and then you throw out the frozen orbs, which will damage Andariel as well, but takes out all the carvers that block all the fire damage, and then the Hydra's kind of like can blast her down while you're shooting your frozen orbs. So I do kind of get why, you know, people who do a lot of players one and they play by themselves, you know, they play in that manner, like dual spec characters. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, everyone has their different play style or preferred way to play and whatnot. Sacred armor, Enigma for the real laughs. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. That's a saffron. That's your situation right there. I wouldn't do that. Hydra's on moat tricking Mephisto. Ah, that's a good point. Yeah, it is probably an S tier moat tricker. That's for sure. No doubt. Archon, let's go! TM saying run it with other skills like Fireball or Meteor. I'm I'm kind of saying the same thing, similar. So like dual fire, you're saying, right? Fireball's a synergy. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that if you're, you know, max fire. If you're gonna drop down the Hydras, is I guess I forgot or didn't remember. Fireball's a synergy of Hydra, huh? Guess I didn't remember that. Forgot about it, I guess. Pete, appreciate you, Wicked Ball. Yeah, good old gold rat. Appreciate you for the heads up. Oop, where am I going? Synergy is warmth. Okay, yeah, that's what I didn't think it was warmth, but I was like, I didn't think it was fireball, but. Yeah, I would say Hydra's a good option if you're gonna dual spec, in my opinion. Like Hydra Orb is probably the most classic, I would say. But you can get away with some other stuff like Hydra Nova. Firewall Hydra, Max Fire. Ooh. Yeah, see, that could be the only problem. Not about problem, but because both of those skills you like can't really fully control, Firewall and Hydra. You can't fully control them hitting the monsters necessarily. Because Firewall you can drop on the monster, but then they just walk, and then they're not on it anymore. The Hydra you can't keep them from missing. Yeah, if you maybe like slamming Andariel with that. Because you can kind of get your mercenary right up on Andariel, so she doesn't move, and then they can melt her away, right? Pretty good. So Hydra Orb, the OG to Saffron. Yep. Good for, it was used for a reason, right? Maybe I'll check my Sork in a minute here. I'm pretty sure I thought that Hydra's synergy was warmth, but then I got another person saying it's fireball, so not that, you know, I'll check it after this. I'll just pull up my Sork, I'll look at it real quick and see what's up. After someone said warmth, I thought I remembered that that's what it was, but there's been like 3 people in chat saying it's not warmth, so. Odd. See, I kind of thought Hydra only had the one synergy. I thought that's why it was a good for dual specking with other stuff. I thought Hydra, maybe it had 2. I don't remember. Let's look. I just don't remember. So I can just look and see. What is it? Boom! Firebolt, fireball. What's a warmth synergy is from Enchant here? I know it's behind me, but you see right there. It is firebolt and fireball. Okay. Huh, I didn't think it was, but yeah, I just didn't remember correctly. There you go. So, yeah, actually, looking at the time here, I'm actually going to call her a day, fellas, on the stream. So, a little over 3 hours. Not a bad stream for fill time anyway. So, yeah. Shout out, I appreciate you fellas joining me. Thank you for the super chats today, supporting the channel. I think we'll send a Twitch raid over to somebody here, huh? Let's go and done those in a minute here. Who do we got? Who we got up here? We'll send you guys over to Kano. Kano's fun to watch, doing its speed runs and stuff. So we'll send you all over there. Perfect for you guys too. 1 to Uber's Paladin playthrough. So there you go. So appreciate you Twitch, appreciate you YouTube. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot supporting the channel. Peace out, fellas, and anyone who is asking for it. Don't forget to keep slaying. Ooh.